So, first of all, Nikola, good evening, and thank you very much for accepting the invitation from Volleyland.gr.
You're
There
welcome.
are so many things that I want to ask you, but I will start with the present, since we find you in Spala at the Polish National Team's Training Center. Am I correct?
Yes.
And now what exactly
Yes,
are
I
you
went
doing in
to.
Spala? You have some training camp, some...
Well, no, it's from time to time I would come to Poland to observe my players playing, or to just be in touch with the federation, with the staff members. But mainly is let's say connected to let's say volleyball played. So right now, a federation have in that center in Spała, they have also one team of youth, where many of the let's say most talented players from Poland are having let's say like a collegiate, where they will eat, they will sleep, they will live practically, and then they will go to school. So it's already a couple of times that I've been there to watch their practice, or to just meet with them, boys and girls equally. That doesn't matter. So I went there to, let's say, have a chat of a couple of hours with them, having them ask me some questions that they are interested in, and then I would observe the practice, and give them some feedbacks eventually, and then I would watch the game. I would watch the game. Last time I've been there, I watched the game of First Liga, where I took one player who was until the end of the national team seasons, has been with us. So it's important also that these young players know that I'm following, that I'm watching, that that everybody has the chance,
You have an
and
eye
I
on them.
prefer them. Well, let's say I prefer them playing in the second division than being fourth player or even second, if there is, I don't know, for example, I have a setter who was with the national team. Last year he was in Zaksa, and he was with Gianni as a coach. He had Janusz as a setter, and then instead of going somewhere to play, even though it's not maybe Plus Liga team, it can be second division in Poland, it can be France, Germany, Belgium, Greece, doesn't matter, but it's important for him to go and play. And I prefer that rather than him going to serve or double change once in a while. And then I have to discover in the national team how he's playing under pressure, which I cannot. So I prefer them going to play, and instead of staying in some team as a reserve player. So that's why I went to see the second division team, where maybe there are not so many players that are interesting for the national team, but it's also sending a message to everybody that I'm there watching, and I'm if they perform well and they do well, they have a shot at coming with to practice with big boys.
But in the end, I understand that the job of a national team coach is not only the 5-month period from May to September.
No, it's not, because honestly, when you watch the many coaches who are working in the national team, and then they are working in the club, which by the way I did for 4 years, it's extremely exhausting. And when you devote all of your time, energy, focus, and concentration to making your team play better, it's impossible for you to watch other games. It's impossible for you to have time to speak or to to follow other players who then you will have in the national team. Sometimes or many times, if not always, all of your assistants are also involved in the clubs, so they also have a lot of work to do, and they also don't have time to watch many guys. What you do then usually is, if that's the situation, you would, at the end of the season, you will then start to watch the games, or to see the statistics, or in order to understand which player might be interesting. But right now, when you are working only with the national team, it's much let's say better to do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't do two jobs, because I did that. It's exhausting. It's possible to do it, especially if you have a good staff. But let's say that when you do only national team or only club, then you will obviously have more time to do that job better. So that's what I'm trying to do.
You're giving a good pass for the upcoming questions, but we will discuss later about the upcoming World Championship. You have split your life between Serbia and Italy. In Serbia, you were born. In Italy, you made this great career. But now you are in Poland.
Yeah.
What is it that has turned Poland into a modern mecca of volleyball? Because seeing it outside, living in Greece, we saw Poland exploding with the national team, their league, their teams. They have amazing stadiums. What is it behind this turnaround of Poland?
Well, honestly, it's as you said, they were winning medals during the national team season, but let's say they didn't have that continuity of winning medals all the time. They had a good league, but let's say before the war, Russia and Italy were the two championships that all the strong players who earn a lot of money would go. So Poland wasn't so interesting to the, let's say, the best players on market. But since I came, we in 4 years we had 9 tournaments. One was the qualification tournament for the Olympics, where we won all 7 games, so we didn't have a medal. We have a baseball hat. But we won 8 medals out of 8. So let's say that continuity of the winning medals, even though it's only bronze, it's only bronze on the World Championship, but we have that continuity, which is great for the obviously the fans, the people who are following volleyball, for sponsors, for everybody. So let's say a little bit that war in Russia stopped many players going there. Also, the economic power of the clubs diminished a lot. Many players playing in Poland. I mean, right now you have 4 players out of everybody who is playing in the national team is playing abroad. So majority of the players are playing in Poland, and Poland has a lot of good players. So I think many things, gathered, made the championship really good. Made that the Polish volleyball. It's not. It didn't just like. I mean, maybe you see it better from outside. You said it exploded, but I think it was just that there were more, let's say, cameras on what is going on. But it's not like anything changed in Poland in recent 4 or 5 years in regard of the championship.
I think the changes started in the beginning of the previous decade, in 2012, 2013, when they closed their league and put some terms in order to have a team participating in the first league, and that's how they started to increase the level.
Well, honestly, I think that 2014 when they won the World Championship in Poland, let's say, gave a lot of a great boost to to sponsors, to everybody, and it became let's say
much more
national sport. Now, egoistically speaking, I'm glad that soccer or football and basketball in Poland are not that big. So, they are not a competition. So practically for 4 years, we are elected. I mean, I don't know how many years before in a row, Polish national team, volleyball national team, was elected as the best team in Poland.
Yes.
And we will be again in January elected the best team in Poland. So let's say that all the attention, all the enthusiasm about and around volleyball is really, really great, especially the national team. So coming back to your the question is that I was the coach in Italy. I was fired from Verona, and after that, Swiderski called me to come to Zaksa, and so I decided to accept because they have a great team. They would play the Champions League, and it's a great club, obviously. And he already called me when I was before Fefe De Giorgi signed, but he told me you have 1 day to decide. Because he was already let's say talking with Fefe, and they were set to have a important meeting about it. So he's like, you need to tell me immediately. And I'm like, listen, it's too much of a stress for me and my family to do that right now. So I don't feel like it. I cannot tell you right now. So that didn't happen. And I'm talking about 2015. And then when I went to Verona, as soon as he learned and read about me being fired in Verona, the same day he called me because Gardini didn't want to continue, or they didn't want to continue. I don't remember now. It doesn't matter. So he immediately called me, and I accepted. So when I went to Zaksa, obviously I had worked with Swiderski as a president there for 2 years, and as you remember, we had some great success.
Yes.
And after that, I came back to Perugia, and then he moved to be the president of the federation, and just he called me back again, and since that moment we continue to have a collaboration in the national team. And honestly, I love working in Poland. Mentality is much more similar to ours than Italians. In Italy, to work is more difficult than in Poland, honestly. That's why you will see some coaches going to Poland that have great success, but when they come back to Italy, they don't have the same, let's say, level of performance or results. And it's not about their knowledge; it's about everything else. So I really love working there because they respect you. I have that kind of respect, that kind of let's say trust, and I feel that. So it's amazing to me to work in that environment, and I hope I will continue to have let's say to continue to work with them until Los Angeles, and but then I don't know. We didn't discuss about anything after that, so we will see.
You just speak about Poland, but what is it that makes Italy stand out so much in both men's and women volleyball? I mean, is there a secret, as we used to say, the journalists, or is it ultimately all about vision and organization?
They have organization who is, let's say, really good, and they have a big federation with many people. They have great sponsors. Many of them are there for like 27 years. And I remember, and they remind me all the time, and I'm talking about 25 years ago, when we played the qualification tournament for Sydney. We played in Poland, and we beat them. We were leading 2-0, and then they came back 2-1, and the fourth set, they were leading like 23-17.
Mm-hmm.
And we came back and won 3-1. So they are reminded all the time. Oh, I remember in Katowice, so many people watched, and it was full gym. And I remember, I'm like, wow, man, so many people are watching, so many people are following volleyball. And at that time, they weren't even close to winning any medal anywhere. But they were followed like you would play in Katowice, and there were like 12,000 people coming, cheering every single day, every game they were playing. You couldn't do the timeout. You couldn't hear anything. It was like really putting a pressure on opponents. And it's still today, they have amazing fans. But I think the organization that they are having, the investment in the job, in the youth that they are having, is something that also Italy is doing. And I think when you do that, you need patience. You need patience to wait, to invest. And then just for the example, for the sake of this conversation, Italy didn't won 16 years gold medal.
Yes.
When they won in 2021 after the Tokyo Olympics, they won the gold medal at the European Championship, changing many players and playing with the young team who is playing mainly today. It was 16 years before they won I think it was 2005, the last gold medal at the European Championship that they had. They had silver medals in the Olympics, they had some bronze medals and so on and so on. But the last gold they won was 16 years previous. And they continue to do that. They continue to invest. And then at some point, you start having Lavia, Micheletto, Giannelli, Russo, all of them more or less the same age, all of them young, and all of them really, really good. And now they have started to have also other young players who are coming back and more coming in. And with Poland is the same. They have a great Plus Liga. They have a great First Liga. There are many players of good level, and that's how you build the building blocks for the future. Having patience, and then just waiting for the fruits of your work and labor to show. So,
but I think also
if you don't have a strategy,
it's important that those young players find space to play in the clubs, because Micheletto, Giannelli came
that's something that I already
not in a
said.
small team.
Yeah. The interview that I did at the beginning of the national team season is I said, and that's the message that I'm sending to not also to the players but also to the managers, because I have now a middle who was with us in the national team at the beginning, and he signed for Warsaw because his manager called him and he said, well, Warsaw wants you to go and play in Warsaw. And they are like, well, I'll go to Warsaw. They are playing Champions League. They are playing this. They are doing that, blah, 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 blah. And he has Semeniuk, Kochanowski, and Klos in front of him. And he never plays. Never. Not just one set or one game, which is nothing. But not even that. He will just practice. So where does your improvement comes? How you are performing on 23 all? Nobody knows. And I don't want to, discover that in the quarterfinals of some important tournament. So I said in the interview, saying who is not playing, it's obviously already finished. And I cannot do what I'm saying for the next season because all the contracts are already signed. But for the next season, not this one, but the next one, who is not playing, I will not take him in consideration for the national team. So if you want to play, instead of being fourth in Warsaw, maybe you will take in consideration going in some other club on Gorzów or Częstochowa or Katowice or you will take some team in first division and go France, go Germany, go anywhere. Doesn't matter, just to play. And then I will see you playing, and then I can decide if I want to take you or not, or I can see if there is a possibility for you to improve. I will not call my assistants to say to them, well, ask the coaches of that team to send you the practices so I can see how he is performing. That doesn't have any sense. So it's extremely important for them to play. And I really hope that, that message is clear and that they will, let's say, shift those, let's say, choices of signing the contracts, future contracts, from being safe fourth in some good club or take less money and play and go to play in some other club. So, playing is extremely important.
This is a very clear position from you, very clear statement, very strong statement. And you said that you made it in the beginning of the summer, so it's obvious the responsibility now. Either they took it or leave it.
It's up to them. Yeah. It's up to them.
I will close this first section with your homeland, Serbia. Its last major success. It was the gold medal at 2019 European
2011.
No. In general,
2019. Sorry.
19. With the team
2019.
With the team that you had built, but you left the August when you lose the final of.
I was let go. I didn't want to go, but I was let go. But anyway, I didn't want to, create any kind of
problem,
drama or anything, because we didn't qualify for the Olympics, and I was expecting that guy who knew how I worked and what I tried to build and how I worked, and would stand by me and say, no, this guy is working well, doesn't matter, let's go on. But obviously I expected too much, so we didn't continue.
But 6 years.
But yes, I mean that was the main tournament for us. I mean, I prepared all the team. I gave to some guys who had the tough championships and tough, couple of seasons. I gave them even a month of rest in order for them to get prepared for that tournament, and we just lost in 1 hour without playing, which is to this day to me also, I try to wrap my head around that, but anyway, we didn't succeed, and me as a coach, I pay the price. So
yes, but Nikola, 6 years later, after 3 coaches changing, a nightmare summer. They were in the bottom of the table in the VNL. They didn't succeed in the World Championship. Hand on heart, what do you think isn't working properly in Serbia, and how optimistic are you about Serbia's future?
I'm not optimistic, in a sense that every country has their system.
Yes.
Because Poland is not only federation who is investing in youth, it's Ministry of Sport who are paying. They have a budget of 25 million euros for the youth, and that doesn't have anything to do with Federation of Volleyball. So Serbia doesn't have that budget. Serbia is organized differently. So I know that you cannot apply that type of system from Poland to, or from the clubs like Italy in Serbia. It's impossible. And but you have to try. There are possibilities for you to try to organize youth, to organize, let's say, coaches, to organize schools, to organize clinics, and to invest in players who will succeed the players who are playing now. And I don't see that. I don't see any a great talent coming up. I don't see strategy. You can have a bad strategy, but it's better to have a bad strategy which you can then change than not having a strategy at all. And unfortunately, I see this also in the women's part, which had much more success lately than men. But I think federation should work much more harder and much more, let's say, in a detailed and programmed manner to do everything they can in order to try to create new champions. And that's a long process. You cannot do that 1-2 years and then expect the miracle. That's impossible, because that's also the key to success to Poland and Italy, because they are working for years. The things that you don't see, you just see the guys who are playing in the national team, but for years and years and years, they were investing, and every year they are continuing to invest. And in Serbia, we have a mentality like, I'm investing now in the morning, and up to the evening, I want already to have Olympic champions, which is impossible. But again, we have a lot less economic possibility than some country like Poland or Italy or Brazil or Russia, doesn't matter. But there are possibilities that you can do that regardless. And unfortunately, I don't see that. So I'm not greatly optimistic. But, we didn't have tradition. We didn't have great volleyball when me and my brother started playing for the national team. And then some things happened, and we won the Olympic gold. So I'm hopeful that, we will do the best we can, and federation will do the best they can in order to create future champions and have patience to wait for them to arrive and then to go back to the world scene.
Nikola, you give me a good pass again. You said so many times the word investment for Poland, Italy, and you said examples. But how did that team, the one that you played, which emerged from the flames of the war, with very few resources, managed to stay in the spotlight for 15 years? You won the Olympic gold, you won European gold. I think at that time only World Championship. And,
we lost to Italy in finals in Tokyo. Yeah. Well, it's the team resources. Is really, let's say, the theme, the topic is really, now we can stay here for hours talking about that. And let's say that honestly, at that time, it was the really, really difficult time for the normal people after war, after embargo, not only sports embargo, but the economic embargo from all over the world. And it was extremely difficult to live in Serbia. But then when they put us back in thanks also to the president at the time, I don't remember his name,
Mr. Beligratis,
of the Greece Federation, Beligratis, yes, that he managed to push to have us back in the qualification tournament for European Championship in Greece. We came back and we started to play. We were the first team playing the official game in the territory of Serbia after embargo. After 2 years and a half, nobody was playing in Serbia international. And we didn't have any international game played in Serbia. So we just play the qualification tournament against Denmark. So if you organize now, today, qualification tournament in Belgrade for Serbia to play for the European Championship, I don't think 200 people will show up. That's how it was before that. But then we were, let's say, in very unlucky time, historically speaking, we were very lucky that our coming back to the scene, international stage, was, let's say, at the same time when we go back from embargo. So qualification game against Denmark, we played in front of 3,500 people, with 1,000 people waiting outside. They wanted to buy a ticket, but the gym was too small. So the year before, I played, 2 years before, I played in the same gym, finals, and we won the championship title against Crvena Zvezda. And I have pictures, there was nobody there. There were 100 people watching the game where we won the title. And we were playing in the same gym, that game against Denmark. And there was not one space free. And I came out to watch, and it looked like some different gym. It was like I couldn't recognize it, and it was amazing. And I was like, "Wow, what is going on?" I never played in front of 3,500 people in Serbia.
Ultimately, what is easier, being a player or being a coach?
What is
easier, being a coach?
Easier. Woo-hoo-hoo. No contest. No contest. I tell to my players all the time, guys, play volleyball until you can walk. Like, don't be in that situation. Should I play one more? No, just do it. Just go. Because once you stop, that's it. It's no coming back. It's not like, no. And I heard too many guys, older guys, saying, I stopped. I could have played some more, And I say this all the time to them, to my players. I say, look, first thing, you are earning a lot of money, like much more money than the coach do. You arrive to the club where everybody is doing everything they can in order to make your life easier. So they will find you the apartment. They will give you a car. They will tell you wherever you need to go or whatever you need to do to resolve every problem that you have with you, with your family, with your wife, with your kids. They will give you all that you need in order for you to practice well and to play well. Is to arrive to the gym when they give you a program. You don't have to think about anything. You give you a program, you arrive, you need to do weights, you do weights. You are not thinking how, when, which, how many. No. You just are handed the program which you have to do, and you do the program and you don't think about it. That's somebody else's responsibility. Then you go to practice volleyball and you do what you can in order. You don't organize the practice. There is somebody else who is organizing the practice in order for you to get ready and better and else. If you are down, there is somebody else who will try to put you, to motivate you, to help you out, and so on and so on. And then you are paid like hell. And if you don't play well, obviously, and you have a contract, they will find solution. They will find you another club, or you can stay one more year and then you will see what's going on. Everything is in your hands. Whether as a coach, much less money, much more responsibilities. You have to think not only about yourself as like a player, you have to think about 25 people and to organize everything in order for them to be their best. And then you are outside hoping that these guys will play well so you can keep your job. Because if one team, doesn't matter if it's the national team or club doesn't perform well or doesn't play well, who is the first one to fly out? So, play as much as you can. Trust me on this. And so then no contest at all.
And another clear message from Nikola Γκρίμπιτς.
up until the end of the Los Angeles. So whatever we do, whatever we try to do, it will not do anything, will not change, because we already have the calendar for every single tournament. So the only thing we don't know is practically the city hosts of the VNL tournament, and where you will be, where you will, your travel arrangements. That's the only thing we don't know. Are we playing too much? Yes. Yes, we do. We are playing all the time. Some national teams are having players who they don't have a great pool of players or great pool of quality players. So you have some national teams where, when they are in full, where they are complete, where they are playing with the strongest players they can have, they are on the top level, they are performing well, they are playing well, they are fighting for the medals or the first places or whatever. But as soon as one or two of those players are not playing, they lower their performance for like 20%. So many times happen that many of those teams are playing with the same players all the time, in order for them to stay on the level, because they cannot say, okay, I will give 2 days off to this or that guy because they are tired. And you can see this and let's say that Slovenia and Japan are among those examples, because last year for the qualification, Slovenia played with all the team all the time. Yes. Like they play every single tournament, every single game. And then they would go to play in some club where they would play European club cups also. So they will play Sunday, Wednesday for 8 months, and they will come to the national team. So is it possible? Is it doable? It is, but I don't know for how long, if you know what I mean. I don't know if these players will have like a career that they will be physically fit and healthy until they are 38, 39 years old. I mean, they are great examples of this, like Anderson, like David Smith, like Grozer, like Kurek. But Kurek this year also had big problems, physical problems. So when you are doing that all the time, I think in the long run, it will, you have to pay the toll. And the great thing for me being in Poland is that we have a lot of good players, and I can change. So let's say, just for the example, for the VNL, we had 8 out of 13 players that were in Paris were not with us this summer. 8 out of 13. So only 5. 2 setters, 2 opposites, 2 middles, 1 libero, 1 receiver, and another opposite who was 13. So, and we managed to win. I'm not saying, we were there quarterfinals, no, we won with with some guys who never played in the national team. That's how quality players Poland has. But they are not, it's not the same situation with everybody, because USA didn't play with 4 guys, disaster. Not disaster, but Japan didn't play with 2 guys, yes, setter and and opposite. Disastrous season. Canada didn't play with the 2 receivers. Disastrous. I mean, much less. Victories, much lower level, much lower performance. So in order for these national teams to stay on that level and compete on the highest level, they will have to choose and to leave some time off to those guys in order for them to, to choose tournaments where they want to play with the strongest team, and eventually, okay, this is our aim, this is the thing I want to, win. So I will play with these guys. If not, you will not play, and we will play with somebody else. So I mean, that's not the solution. That's not the great solution. But I think some teams may let's say go in that direction in order to resolve those problems.
Mm-hmm. Who was the coach who has influenced your career the most? And why you have never played in a club except Vojvodina with Vanya?
With my brother, yeah. Thank you for
To
that.
Γκρίμπιτς, it was a
My
problem?
brother is asking me all the time. No, he wanted. My brother wanted, but I didn't so much.
Why?
He was enough for the national team. It was, having him everywhere with me, it would be too much. Trust me on this. And I don't want to elaborate more. There are many. Let's say two coaches who had the major impact is Velasco and Gianpaolo Montali. These two guys, let's say, shaped my approach to coaching more than anybody else. And I learned a lot from some guys. I learned a lot from some guys on how to organize tactic, or how to organize the practice, or how to manage some situations with players. So I learned a lot from. I learned a couple of things from coaches that I shouldn't do at all. So you can learn a lot. But these two, let's say, the majority of the things that they were saying or doing are exactly as I was imagining, and I'm having my concept of volleyball. So these two guys have the most impact on me.